Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. I'm your host, Chewy Plays Nintendo, joined by my co-host, Sergio. Today, we'll go over the recent updates to Pocket Camp, specifically fortune cookies, the new villagers, and overall updates, as well as our thoughts on my first video asking, is it time for Animal Crossing Switch?
Yes.
So, hello Sergio, how are you doing?
Hello, Chewy. Hi. Doing okay.
Yeah, I know you were a little sick. You're recovering still, so this will probably be a little bit shorter so we don't strain your voice. So you got sick, was it Friday?
Right. Out of nowhere, but, getting there.
Yeah, but at least you got to rest up, right? You stayed home from work.
Right.
Cool. So yeah, there were a lot of updates to Pocket Camp. Last week we talked about the fortune cookies that were coming, and unfortunately we recorded before the actual update, but Tuesday that episode came out, and at that point we didn't really know what a lot about the update, you know? Except for I had the suspicion that it was going to be the gacha system, and we were right.
Yeah, unfortunately, right.
Yeah, essentially we were right about that. So right now we have Filbert's fortune cookies, Rosie's fortune cookies, and what were the last ones? Marshall's fortune cookies. So if you buy any of those, there are a bunch of special items. I've actually just bought a bunch of Filbert fortune cookies because it's funny that it's called the gacha system, short for gachapon, which is a Japanese word for like these little machines, quarter machines essentially.
Right, I love those.
Yeah, I would honestly just use all of them when I saw them. So yeah, you could get little prizes from these things, but there's a good chance once you've collected a lot of things that you're going to be getting duplicates of stuff. And it gets harder and harder to get that one thing you're missing. So naturally, I'm like, okay, I'll see what this is all about. So I was like, I'm going to buy 2 fortune cookies. And I buy 2 fortune cookies, and I open them, and I'm like, oh, cool, there's an astronaut outfit. Because I didn't really look at what was available.
Oh, gotcha.
So I kind of just bought the Filbert ones, and then I was mostly checking because I wanted to compare it to the Fire Emblem Heroes system, where, you use some orbs to summon a character, and then gradually the price for your summon lowers. But that didn't happen at all in this game. So it's always 50 leaf tickets for any item. And that's a bummer.
Right.
Because I bought 2, and then I was like, I'll buy 2 more. And then after that, I was like, well, might as well use the rest of my leaf tickets. So I did. And so I bought 6 items total. Luckily, I didn't get a single duplicate. And since then, I've gotten nothing but duplicates.
Oh, boy.
It's gotten bad. I have bad luck, man. I'm not good at these luck things.
No, right.
If there's ever a reason I'm going to lose at something, it's because I'm unlucky. It's definitely not the skill part, though, my skills could improve. I could improve on those. But, I have some effect over that. Whereas, like, the luck stuff, it takes me out. So I use all my leaf tickets. I get lucky. I don't get a single duplicate. And I got most of the astronaut outfit, right? All I was missing was the pants.
Right.
And then I guess I should explain also, you have the leaf ticket option to buy things, but then you will also have the bell option. And so typically you'll find like the clothing fortune cookies or just like an item fortune cookie. And those cost 500 bells. So they're pretty cheap.
Right.
But I haven't gotten anything good out of those. I've seen people get like really awesome things, like 5-star items and 4-star items. I get 2-star items and 3-star items.
Right. It's always 2 stars. But I guess I was wondering if the items that you get from the Bell ones, are those still part of the memories?
I actually don't know. I have no idea how the memories work. All I know is that if they depend on like us getting all of the special items, it's
Hmm.
going to be hard. It's going to be really
Oh, yeah.
hard.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. So anyways, you have those as 500 bell options, but then the special cookies can show up and it costs 5,000 bells to buy those,
Hmm.
which that it isn't too bad because I have a bunch of my Nintendo points saved up just from years and years of being on this thing.
Hmm.
How long has my Nintendo been out now? Too long
Right.
without them offering actual good stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
um, but yeah, so I have a bunch of things, and I'm like, oh, I can spend 100 of these my Nintendo points and have 5,000 bells to spend on a cookie.
That's it. Right.
Yeah, and they're pretty easy to get, and so it's really nice. The first time I saw that, I had two Filbert cookies,
Oh, nice.
and this was the first time I got duplicates. So I got another little astronaut helmet,
Hmm.
and it's a weird item. It's like a rock, and it shines like hologram type of thing,
Right.
like dust. I don't know. It's weird. It's not the most understandable item. I don't know. So that was when I got my duplicates. Eventually I did get the pants that I needed.
Oh, cool.
So if you saw me, I'm dressed up in like an astronaut
Nice.
now. That's all I'm gonna wear forever. Because it's really cute. I like the outfit
Right.
that you get. But anyways, I'm at the point where I've spent 300 Leaf tickets. I've gotten maybe like 7 different items, and I don't know. I guess how many items are in each set? Is it 10?
Yes, actually, I think it is. And so if you spend 300 lift tickets, I'm guessing you have 6 stamps.
Yeah, I do have 6 stamps. Do you know? I don't know how the memories work. Do you know?
Yeah, I think you have to get each item, each of the 10 items. So some of the items you get with the cookies regularly, by luck. Or if you collect the stamp cards, you can select the item that you want. But what's crazy about that is that the most expensive item, I guess the rarest, it takes 10 full cards, which each one requires 10 stamps. So basically, 100 stamps, meaning, what is it, 5,000 leaf tickets?
That is
That's too
insane.
much.
Oh my gosh. I think it's pretty cool that you can use stamp cards on them, but just the price is outrageous.
Right, right, right.
Like 5,000 Leaf tickets, I have not looked at the pricing for Leaf tickets, but I'm pretty sure the biggest package was like, was it the $40 pack?
Right.
And you get like, I don't know, 2,000 Leaf
2,000 or so,
tickets?
right.
That's not enough.
Right,
that 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 is a huge price for the rarest item on there.
right.
And like when you have bad luck like me,
Oh,
there's somebody who's going to need that. So in one sense it's nice that they throw you a bone, but in the other that's a very expensive bone.
right.
So it's rough.
It's like they're asking, how much do you like this character? How much are you willing to pay for this memory?
Yeah, so I'm guessing right now I'm about like 3 items away from getting that memory.
Oh, nice.
And I'm guessing it's Filbert specific, right? If I get that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they're trying to make so much money off of this. Like if they're putting a fortune cookie set for every single character, first off, like if it's supposed to last 2 months, right?
Right. And then they're gonna switch them out.
Yeah, if we're getting 3 characters every 2 months, and so there's like 6 times 3, what is that? Shoot, I can't do math right
18.
now. 18 different characters a year. How many years is it going to
Oh,
take them to get like a full like every single Animal
right.
Crossing character some representation, you know?
Right.
That's already going to take a really long time. Also, that's a lot of money.
Right.
I I was excited to see this gacha system go into the game just because, this is a normal space for mobile games, right?
Right.
They've got to make money somehow, and it's just proven time and time again that this is the way to do it. And so I was happy to see them finally commit to that, but only if it meant that we're going to get rid of like other Leaf ticket items like the Celeste thing. Don't make that cost 350 tickets or whatever it
Right.
does. Because that's too much.
Right. And then
Just
the campsite decorations too.
Yeah, just switch over to a different currency that's much easier to handle and get a hold of,
Right.
Because that'll keep the game interesting for people like us who don't want to spend $1 million on the game. And meanwhile, there are always those people who do spend a lot of money on these games. And, that's great. Go for it. Do what you want. It's your money.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad they're probably going to be making money, but I'm also accepting that this feature is not for me, and it's not for a lot of us,
Right. Right.
So I'm at the point where I'm like, great, my catalog is now going to be dead. I'm not going to be able to get every item like I was trying to for a long time.
Right.
And I think that's the first step to me slowly getting weaned off the game.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, and I think that would have happened regardless. Like once the new game comes out, we're gonna be much less
Right.
interested in this.
Right. Happily.
Yeah, I'll probably check in once a day just to see what's happening, but even then, I feel like I won't.
Right. 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 And
Once a day, I'll become once a week.
and then once a month, once a year. But
Yeah.
they're pushing us that way. Like you said, most likely everyone's catalog is gonna be incomplete unless you're willing to spend a lot. I for one, I only bought one cookie just to try it out, and by then I had to realize this is not gonna work out. For if they do a KK slider or a DJ KK, I will happily get those, but that's gonna be it.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. That's a really good point. And I think if they do make items for your specific like favorite character, I guess I wouldn't mind buying into that,
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, I think you've got it there. That's like the time to spend it. You've just got to accept that you're not going to get every item, and you might as well just spend money on the ones that matter.
Right. And I'm hopeful that at least the duplicate items are considered good or great for Gulliver. They should
Oh
be.
yeah, that's true. That is so true. I should just be giving him the 5
Yeah.
other helmets that I've gotten since this thing came out.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of helmets. I don't know why.
And especially because we cannot trade amongst ourselves.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I feel like there should be some way to, like, we have the market box and we can sell materials like
Right.
fish and stuff,
Right.
But we can't sell furniture to other people, which is the exact opposite of the regular Animal
Right.
Crossing games.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's so weird how they're just like, you know what? Let's do everything, but in reverse.
Right.
So I don't know. There's always some sort of like wall that we can hit in our ability to like trade with people
Right.
in the game. Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's a good move on their part. They're going to be making money, which is, important to them. And most of all, I'm just hoping that this money goes towards some serious development
Yes.
time on a new game,
Right.
which I don't know. I'm still hoping it happens, but, they're keeping some tight lids on that news.
Yeah.
So anyways, Did you have anything else to say about the fortune cookies? Anything you wanted to point out?
No, I think we got it. The overall media perception is a little negative, but I mean, I think we saw it coming, and we've narrowed it down that you should spend on your favorite character and just accept the fact that there's going to be a lot of items that we're going to miss, and it should be okay. It's fine to miss things because you're not going to be spending a lot of money.
Yeah, and you know what? You brought up the media's kind of perception of it, and it was funny to me to see it referred to as loot boxes, and I was like, the thing is, like, I feel like people get multiple things out of a loot box. Me, I'm just getting a single item. I'd rather it were a loot box
Right.
at that point, Like, 50 leaf tickets is a lot,
Yeah.
and to not see that price go down as you buy more and more, that's pretty unfortunate. Because I think that's just the norm for the Fire Emblem Heroes app,
Right. I wonder
And
if they could do that eventually, or just lower the prices for all the cookies.
yeah, that would be great. Especially, yeah, I would like that.
Right.
But you know what? Every single time we're talking about like leaf ticket pricing, I always say, you know what? I wish the price were lower. And then I'll come back next week and I'll be like, you know what? I wish the price were lower. But, it doesn't get lower.
No, it's getting higher.
I think, yeah, it gets higher.
Right.
Exactly. And I think that's unfortunate that it's just going to stay at this point. And I don't know. Maybe they're trying different tactics before they try lowering the price,
Maybe.
But as long as we don't buy, they might have to lower it,
Right,
because
right.
they have to inspire us to want to spend money on these things.
Right.
And if we're feeling like we're getting cheated on what we're getting, then we're not going to do it.
Right. And it would also be nice to get a little more fortune messages. I think they repeat a little too often.
Yeah, that's true. The fortune messages, they're pretty cute.
Yeah.
I like the one you sent on Discord this morning or today because you were sick.
Right.
And it was something about you're going to catch a cold. Or, I see it in front of me right now.
Right.
You'll catch a cold, but you'll get over it in a single day.
Right.
Which you wish you had gotten
Right.
that on Friday.
Right.
Yeah, so the messages are cute, but yeah, I'm already seeing like repeats of what I've read. And this kind of reminds me of like when the game first came out and we only had the 4 different personalities. And after a little bit, you were already seeing people just saying all the same stuff.
Right.
They've done a lot of work to improve that. So everybody's got a pretty big variety of what they say. Unfortunately, I just skipped through all of it.
Right.
I'm like, just give me crafting materials, please. Yeah. So yeah, that's the fortune cookie stuff. If you go over to Timmy and Tommy's, you can check it out. It's all in the marketplace. You always have a couple options for bell cookies. Well, not always. Once you buy them, it'll take 24 hours to restock.
Right.
And if you don't buy them, they'll switch every 12 hours. So if you're like, oh, great, here's another clothing cookie, don't want that, you could just wait 12 hours, which that's still a long time.
Yes.
Half a day.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. The time for those cheap cookies, it's too long.
Right.
But yeah, there were a lot of updates that came outside of just the fortune cookie. So we have some other new stuff. And I'm going to go over it because I'm trying not to make you talk too much. So we have perfect fruit, new villager requests, new fish and bugs, an item counter, and yeah, so let's talk about these things. Perfect fruit. I've seen people on our Discord post photos of the perfect fruit that they've gotten, and I'm like, wait, I want one. I haven't gotten a single one.
Right, me neither. I wonder if you only get one, maybe one or two, because we all have 2 duplicate trees of something.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if we only get perfect of those.
Yeah, maybe. all I know is that I've been shaking my trees after picking up some fruit, and it's not giving me anything cool. um, but yeah, I think one of our Discord people have. I think they put a picture up, and they had 3 different fruit,
Oh, okay,
perfect fruit.
okay.
So I don't think it's limited to the 2 duplicate trees.
Right.
But I want one because I don't know what they do.
Right. I'm wondering if maybe the villagers will ask for them, and if you do give it, they might give you a cookie.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd love a fortune cookie. That'd be great. Um, so yeah, let's talk about like new villager requests because you mentioned like if you give them a perfect fruit. So one of the new villager requests that I saw right away was that they'd be like, "Oh, you know what? I really want fish, but I'm so bad at fishing. Can you give me one?"
Hmm.
And then from there, it puts you into your menu, and you can choose what fish you want to give to them,
Right.
which is awesome.
Right.
If
It's,
you
it's
have a
very, very unique, very out there.
Yeah, and if you have like a bunch of one item that
Hmm.
you can't get rid of because your market box is full, right away you can just give that away, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So I really like this aspect, especially because also other times it's like, oh, I want this, and you're like, oh, I only have 2 of those. I don't want to give you all
Yeah.
of them, you know? So if you have 2 of something, you can avoid giving that too.
Right. And it makes it more akin to how it is in the mainline games. They ask you for a fish, and you give them any fish.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Hmm.
Um, I love those tasks where they're like, "Oh, I want a river fish.
Right.
Could you get me that?" And you're like, "Dude, yes. Every fish I catch in the river is a river fish, unless it's like a tin can or a boot, which I hate those." But pretty much, like you're gonna fish once and find something that they need, and then mission accomplished.
Right.
You're done.
Right.
Which it's nice to go on the side quests, but sometimes you're like, man, I'm kind of busy right now. um, so yeah, I like that. The other new things I've seen, one was like I was at the Forest River area, the river,
Hmm.
and the person, I forget which animal it was, but they asked me, they're like, "Oh, I want to go fishing. Do you know a good spot to fish?" And then they gave me options. It was like by the
Oh.
waterfall, by the dock, or it just gave me the different options. And then I picked waterfall, and then it gave me a little scene where they were like fishing, and then afterwards they're all, "Oh, I caught this fish," and
Hmm.
then they give you the fish and some money, and it's cool.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that was another new one. And then the last new one that sticks out to me is one of my villagers or campers was like, "Oh, I was trying to get a present for this person." And then they're like, "What do you think they'll like best?" And then they give you an option of 3 pieces of furniture. And then you pick one, and then it takes you to a little scene where they're talking to each other
Oh,
and exchanging the gift.
right.
So, yeah, those were the 3 that I've seen. Have you seen any outside of that?
Just like the one you mentioned for the fish, but there's also one for flowers. So they let you pick whichever flower you want to give them.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, so it looks like sometimes they're going to give you the option
Right.
of
I think
what
that's
you
good.
want to give them, which is, yeah, it's great. um, so the next thing, there are new fish and bugs. Have you caught any of the new ones?
No, I haven't even seen them really.
They're hard to find. I've caught almost all of them now. I'm missing whatever's in the ocean.
Mm.
I have not seen the new ocean things at all. But I've caught the river fish, which I think was like a loach and something else. I don't remember. Like a
Right.
neon tetra. I don't know. A little tiny fish. And then on the island, there are 2 new like rare
Right.
bugs. I don't know why they're using like rare
Right.
things as the new items, but there was the Agrius butterfly, which is kind of like a red and blue butterfly,
Yes.
and another one of the big
Right.
beetles. I don't remember which one. I think it's like the Hercules. No, I don't
No.
remember. It was a red beetle.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I've caught those, and then I don't even know what's in the ocean. I just know that I'm missing whatever's in the ocean.
Right.
So yeah, it's surprising how hard they are to find. The river ones I think are a little bit easier because they're not like rare fish normally in the game, you know?
Right.
But yeah, those are the ones I've seen. And then finally, we've got to talk about this.
Yes.
The item counter. This is a cool new feature. Essentially, when you're near an item or when you catch something, it gives you the number of how many you have.
Right. This is awesome. I've wanted something like this for pretty much since the beginning.
Yeah, this completely changes the game. Now I know when I'm walking on the beach and picking up shells, which ones I should actually
Right.
pick up without checking my items, you know?
Yeah. Right.
That's been my favorite thing about it so far.
Yeah. So handy.
Also, yeah, it's just easier to keep track of what you have when you see that number pop up.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good update. Good stuff. But that is not all.
Right.
They have also added a bunch of villagers. And these villagers are specific because they are of a new essence
Mm-hmm.
type. Last week, we kind of predicted that it would be civic villagers, you know?
Right.
We were wrong. Well, I was wrong. I know I predicted it. I thought it would be civic.
Right.
But it's actually elegant.
Right. And are the 6 new villagers all of them elegant? I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe they are.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's go over the villagers real quick. We got Pierce, who is a jock eagle. Whitney, the snooty wolf. Muffy, the Uchi sheep. We're kind of using their New Leaf personalities.
Right.
Julia, the snooty ostrich. Tia, the normal elephant. Colton, the smug horse. So those are the 6 that we've gotten. Have you had any of these in your town before?
By the time I was playing the Welcome Amiibo update on New Leaf, I had Whitney in my town,
Oh,
which is
that's
funny
nice.
because I had just watched the movie and then she just moved in.
Yeah, Whitney, there are a couple top tier villagers here. Whitney is one of them. Tia is one of them.
Right.
Tia's a teacup elephant, and people love Tia.
Right.
Yeah, I remember those two were always like, I don't know, at least 15 million bells on the animal trade thing. So, um, they're very popular, but yeah, they're elegant. So we got a whole slew of like new, we got new amenities as well as new items to craft for all of
Right.
those villagers,
Right.
which are pretty nice. I actually like them a lot. They got the Rococo stuff now, which I've always liked that set. It's kind of
Right.
like a fancy, old-fashioned French type of furniture.
Right.
So the new amenities that we got were the elegant fountain, the noble carriage, and the regal castle.
Right. They look really nice.
Yeah, I was really confused at first because I was like, wait, the level 1 thing is the elegant fountain? Where's the tent?
Right.
You know, I would have thought they would have gotten some like really snazzy tent.
Right.
So I'm surprised that it's like they've opted out of that and they're just going with the fountain.
Right.
At the same time, it's pretty cool because the last thing is the Regal Castle. So I almost feel like they totally reversed their camping experience.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so you're getting like the fancy amenities first, and then you get the place to live,
Right.
right? Because you know they're elegant folk here. They're not gonna be sleeping. They're not gonna be roughing it like us common folk. You know, they're gonna bring their castle. So yeah, they're gonna be decked out. I have seen pictures of the castle, and I'm pretty excited about it. This is the reason I should play because You know what? Now that I've accepted that I'm not gonna get all the items, the
Mm,
fortune cookies are fine, but I'm not gonna get them all. That's the bottom line.
right.
Um, I'm like, you know what? I can still get all of the amenities and all of the furniture that I can craft, right?
Right.
So I'm perfectly happy going after the Regal Castle.
Right.
Also, like I've actually been keeping close track of the essences I need for the amenities. I haven't taken into account the elegant things,
Right.
but I do have a count for like the rest of the essences that I need. And right now I only
Oh,
need cool, sporty, rustic, hip, and harmonious.
okay. But I'm guessing you and me and many of us are gonna be trying to move these new villagers to our campsite right away.
Yeah, that's true. I've already. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't played too much today, but my first amenity, the elegant fountain,
Mhm.
I've built that for sure.
Oh,
So
nice.
I've already gotten started.
Right.
Yep. So I'm on my way. I'm taking this one a lot slower than I usually do.
Mhm.
Usually within like the first few days, I have like the second amenity
Oh.
already. Um, so yeah. Oh, also I forgot to mention with the new villagers, we have a new host the most event.
Right.
So I think we can invite 5 people or 5 villagers over, and we'll get all of the rewards. And the first a couple or few are elegant essences, and they give you quite a bit.
Oh,
And then
okay.
yeah, and then after that we got leaf tickets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I'll probably have to double check, but yeah, that's what we've got so far.
Right. No, that makes sense. Is that's good incentive to get going with the elegant because we're starting from zero.
Yeah, that's true. It's always a rough start
Yeah.
when you're going with that.
Right.
Like even the harmonious essences, which were the latest ones that we got,
Right.
those are still the ones I need the most
Right.
of
Right.
to complete my sets. So yeah, did you have any more comments on these new villagers, any of the new items and things going on?
No, just a minor one that I happen to notice because I have that type of phone. But for a couple of Android phones, I'm not sure if there's more than these two, but the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus, those phones have a screen that's a little bit taller than most. In New Leaf, I'm sorry, in Pocket Camp, the screen wouldn't fill the entire um, tallness of the very tall screen, but now it does actually. They took the time to update it to do that, and it looks amazing. So if
Oh,
there's any phones that have a taller screen, it's gonna fill it up all the way now.
that's awesome. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
even
very
know
nice.
that. I have a really crummy like Samsung Galaxy Avant, which is like not even the high tier Samsung. So that's why I'm always complaining about how my game runs on my phone. It's not the best.
Right.
Maybe one day I'll get a better phone, but you know, phones are expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, we've gotten a little bit of a sneak peek on what is coming up
Hmm.
next in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and this is called the Gyroidite Scavenger Hunt.
Right.
It's our next event. It's gyroid related, and it seems like we're gonna find gyroidites on like trees or the ground, and I don't know exactly what they're gonna be used for.
Right.
Do you have any idea?
It sounds like it's gonna be for some special furniture and clothing. I'm gonna take a guess, and I'm in a hopeful guess that it's gyroid furniture and clothing. That would be nice.
Yeah, I would actually like that. I would love to have little gyroids in my
Right.
campsite, you know?
The
Um,
Lloyd set.
yeah, that would be awesome. Or the Brewster set. Those are great.
Right.
One of the coolest things in Animal Crossing New Leaf is that they carried over Brewster's love for gyroids.
Right.
So in City Folk, it was revealed that he really likes them and he would actually hold on to your gyroids for you.
Hmm.
And after that, in New Leaf, you would start working for him, and eventually you'd get like a custom gyroid set that he
Right.
made. And they're all little Brewster gyroids. So it would be cool to see other like Gyroid sets that were like inspired by the characters.
Right. Oh, right. A gyro for
Yeah,
each villager, imagine?
that would be first off a lot of gyroids.
Right.
Maybe at least like the special villagers, I
Right.
think would be cool. I could see somebody like Cyrus, who's always crafting things, being really into them.
Oh, yeah.
It would make sense if he like made his own set,
Right.
and him and Brewster were like really good friends. I want story cutscenes for all our villagers,
Right.
all of the people in our town, and because that would be amazing. Um, but yeah, I guess I don't know. Do you know when this event's gonna start?
They said soon. Hopefully this week.
Yeah, okay. So probably later this week,
Right.
we will see that event, and the next week we'll be able to update everybody on what it actually is.
Right.
Because right now, we've seen little pictures of like blank kind of looking gyroids, you
Right.
know? You can't really tell what their shape is
Right.
or what kind of gyroid they are. Um, but it's cool. I think it's going to be a fun new little collectible to find.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that the villagers will give you some gyroidite if you fulfill their request, so I can finally get back into, full time playing this game because there's an event.
Yeah, that's true. It does slow down when there's no event.
Right.
Yeah, we were always like saying, man, these events really keep it busy. And then they go away and we're like, man, we haven't played this
Yeah.
game. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll slow down over time. But for now,
Right.
we might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a different pace.
Yeah. And then finally, last little update on Pocket Camp. Celeste, it's going to be your last chance to get the Celeste Telescope.
Mhm.
It ends this week. She will be gone on Saturday April 28th at 11 p.m. Pacific time. So wherever you are, now's the time to use your 350 leaf tickets. Oh my gosh, it's so expensive. I don't blame you if you don't have the leaf tickets to get her. But yeah, hopefully with the different events going on, you will get enough. I know we've been getting 10 leaf tickets a day
Right.
since the fortune cookie event. But yeah, if you haven't gotten her, do whatever you need to if you really want her. If you have to spend money and you want her, I guess you're gonna have to spend money. But
Right. You have to decide how much you want her. I'm kind of glad, that she's been around for a long time at least. So people have been able to save up and decide how to spend their leaf tickets, and they knew the deadline was coming.
Yeah, and I kind of like her that she's like a variation on the original where we got the KK Slider chair and the Tom Nook chair.
Right.
I'm glad it's not just another chair.
Right. Right.
Hopefully in the future, like I feel like the KK Slider chair, that's classic. That's like how you see KK Slider, you know?
Right.
He's always sitting on a chair playing guitar. Tom Nook, he just wants to be cool. And he's like, well, KK Slider has a chair. I'm going to get my own chair and be awesome too. I feel like it doesn't fit Tom Nook as well.
I agree.
You know? So, Tom Nook, you're fine. Just be you.
Yeah.
You're good. But Celeste, she was done the right way, you know,
Yes.
like she got an item that's very specific to who her character is.
Right.
Because, in Wild World, we got to make constellations.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could in City Folk as well, but I can't remember now.
I want to say yes. Right.
Unfortunately, we couldn't on New Leaf.
Right.
But
Yes, I missed that a lot.
yeah, hopefully next time we will be able to again, and Celeste gets her telescope.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like this is the way these characters need to work. No Tom Nook stuff. Find I don't know what to do with Tom Nook, but not a chair. He's not as cool as KK.
So I'm wondering, most likely they're gonna replace it with someone or some other item. I want a turntable because I want DJ KK.
That's true. That would be really cool.
Yep.
He'd fit in pretty well at your campsite. All right. Finally, the last thing we're going to talk about today is yesterday I put out a video, and it's part of my new series that I am calling Is It Time for Animal Crossing Switch? And essentially, I'm just asking the question, is it time for Animal Crossing Switch? And it's because, I opened up with this, but Nintendo's been really quiet about Animal Crossing and what they're doing with anything beyond Pocket Camp,
Right.
So right now we're like flooded with Pocket Camp news. I mean, we spent most of the episode talking about that. But meanwhile, we're waiting for something much bigger.
Yes, right.
And so every Friday, yesterday I did like a first episode, which is like episode 0, but Friday is going to be my first official one. But every Friday I'm going to take a look into the Animal Crossing series and kind of, just point out why I think it's time for Animal Crossing to be announced. So yesterday's episode, I talked about essentially the rumors that we have heard thus far. I'm sure I missed some, but there were some that I wanted to talk about specifically,
Right.
So the first one I talked about was GameCube Virtual Console.
Right. And you mentioned how, there were rumors as far back as January 2016, back when we didn't even really know what the Switch was going to be. It was, like you mentioned, the NX days. And a bunch of GameCube games were in development, including, not as officially as others, but including Animal Crossing. And, one of the other games was Luigi's Mansion, which is coming to the 3DS. And you mentioned the possibility of Animal Crossing population growing on the 3DS. I want to play population growing again. My only concern is that I wonder how much that would take away from Animal Crossing Switch. If it doesn't take anything away, then yeah, by all means, I would love to play AC1 again.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why I was okay with it being like a virtual console kind of thing. Because I'm sure the team working on bringing games to virtual console is very different from the teams actually developing games,
Right. Right.
So I'm sure they're like dedicated people who are working on that. And so I'd rather see it come as a virtual console game on the Switch eventually than knowing that they are using time and resources making it for the 3DS.
Right. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much goes into essentially, I just don't know how much goes into it. Like making a game versus like porting one over. So I mentioned like we know Luigi's Mansion is coming to the 3DS, and this was one of the games that was rumored to be on the GameCube Virtual Console,
Right. Right.
But now I feel like it'd be a little strange getting it on the Virtual Console when it's just coming out on the 3DS.
Right.
Because on the one hand, you're going to be able to play the original. On the other, the 3DS is going to be like an updated version of it that's probably going to fix some things.
Right.
So I think it'd be a little bit weird to see like a backtracked version of the game.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm really hoping we hear something about Virtual Console one day, but as of right now, nothing,
Right. We know so little. Sort of off topic, but I've been fascinated by the way Nintendo has handled the virtual console environment on the Switch. I'm really surprised how long they're taking, but what I'm hopeful of is that they're really planning something great and they're just ironing out all the little details. And by this fall, we're gonna have something great and hopefully a means of playing some Animal Crossing content, most likely old, but we like it all the same.
Yeah, and I just want it to look so pretty.
Yeah.
I hope that's what's taking a long time, like updating the art style and giving us like a really nice new look to Animal Crossing.
Right.
Because that was what was so special about New Leaf, it felt like, wow, this is such a jump for Animal Crossing as a
Yes.
series.
Right. Right.
And so that first HD game, that needs to be such a jump
Yes.
for Animal Crossing,
Right.
you know?
It's required.
Yeah. So the next thing I kind of brought up was the way Pocket Camp would be connected to the Animal Crossing world, you know? And because originally the game was going to have some sort of connectivity to just other Animal Crossing games.
Right. Right.
Be it the new Switch game or the old 3DS game. I kind of talked about how I thought personally that the game was possibly going to be connected with New Leaf, you know?
Yes.
As I think about it more, I think it makes more sense
Yes.
that way.
Right.
Just because the original mobile game, at least when Animal Crossing Mobile was announced, it was supposed to be out fall of 2016.
Right.
After delays, we got it fall of 2017, a full
Right.
year later, you know.
Right.
But you know what we did get in fall 2016? We got the Welcome Amiibo update, which
Right.
added, you know, these little Welcome Amiibo cards that featured campers.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, so I have a sneaking suspicion that these games were originally going to be connected,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So I don't know what that case is now. I did mention that I like the campers a lot, and I would not mind seeing them return, especially our new friends from OK Motors.
Yes. Right.
They need to be in the next
Right.
game. So
if
that's
one thing has to connect, it's them.
yes, for sure. Those
Right.
campers need to come back, and they have to come back.
Right.
So, yeah, I think while I think the game was originally going to connect to the 3DS, I wouldn't mind if they put some Switch type of thing on it.
Right.
And it would, you know, okay. Also, from a business standpoint, it would pay for Nintendo to connect it to the Switch because we were just talking about how earlier, once the Switch game comes out, we're going to be done with Pocket
Yes.
Camp pretty
Right.
much.
Right.
If Pocket Camp got us some special stuff on the Switch because it connected, I would stay playing Pocket Camp.
Right.
And that would just make it more likely for us to spend money on it, you know?
Right.
So, Nintendo, if you're listening to this, you'd probably earn some more money if you do that.
So hurry up.
Yeah. So let me see. What else should I guess the next thing I mentioned was the trademark, which I guess this isn't exactly a rumor because it's real.
Yeah. Right.
But Nintendo back in January, they submitted like a trademark update for Animal Crossing. And we talked about this when it happened, but the biggest thing was that it was also updating for like games on a mobile device, games in a dedicated handheld, and games in a home console. And I was like, well, you know, if you're updating the trademark for those, we have one dedicated hybrid.
Right.
So, yeah, I think the Switch is definitely what they're talking about in that.
Right. Right. And you know, it's as official as it gets without being official. Just filing for trademark for so many things. Even like you mentioned, Amiibo Festival 2, it's a guarantee at this point. So
Yeah, they did say board games, so that could only mean one thing.
right.
The Switch title is going to be Amiibo Festival 2. Which is great because the first one, kind of a weak game. They could do better. The concept, the idea itself, I think is good. But they could pull it off.
Right. Right. Just add online play, and that would add a lot of replayability.
Yeah, already. I would play
Yeah.
with people online right
Imagine,
away.
yeah. Right.
Yeah. And so you had one thing to mention at the end after you saw the video.
Right. You and our listeners might remember back in the days when the Wii U wasn't official yet, and out of nowhere, a lot of rumors started coming out. Very specific rumors about a thing called the Project Cafe, which at that point was the code name of what eventually became the Wii U. But when the rumors started, they were very specific. They were talking about a console that had a detachable controller that you would play, on its own, connect wireless to the console in the TV, and the controller had a 6.2-inch touchscreen. It was very specific, and they all got it right. Eventually, Nintendo had to say, yeah, we're working on a new console, and it's this and that. I feel like at this point, any day we could wake up to a lot of Animal Crossing, either heavy rumors or official information at this point. And I
Yeah.
think it's very exciting.
Yeah, I think that's my one worry that I've had about like starting this series, because my intention behind it is I want it to come out every Friday leading up to E3, you
Hmm.
know?
Right.
Um, and I'm doing this knowing very well that like Nintendo could hold a direct anytime they want.
Hmm.
Um, it's very normal for them to do like a Pokemon Direct before E3. Um, so, I mean, I'm hoping they would do that, because I would not mind a Pokemon Direct
Right.
that, just gave us more details about Pokemon Switch. But, if they could just be like, you know what? Let's talk about Animal Crossing earlier than that.
Right.
So, part of my worry is that, like, we're going to get some significant news, and my whole video series is going to be just going off the rails,
Right.
essentially. Um, yeah, so first off, I will have been right. It is time for Animal Crossing
Yeah.
Switch.
Right.
But second off, I'm like, I have some pretty cool videos planned,
Hold on,
which,
Nintendo.
yeah, which I think I want to have made,
Right.
Yeah, tune in Friday. You're gonna get some more.
Right.
Though I do think like the better of my videos will start after this Friday. Where I get into some pretty detailed stuff that took a lot of research to find out. Um, Regardless, though, yeah, that's my worry. Just like, Nintendo really controls their news.
Right.
And they do it pretty effectively compared to other companies. Like, they're good at keeping a tight lid on things.
True. True.
Because, we reach every direct and there are still surprises.
Yes. Right.
Like, we never know what's going to pop up. And so even you Smash Bros fans who are like, I knew they were going to announce Smash Bros. And I'm like, yeah, that's because you say it every single time. Your odds are only getting better.
Right. Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I've been hesitant to say Animal Crossing is getting announced this time. Up until like this year, I was like, you know what? I think they're going to announce something in the big January Direct. We didn't really get a big January Direct.
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? I don't know if they're going to announce it in this March Direct, but I
Right.
think we'll hear about it at E3. And so, yeah,
Right.
I'm just tied to this idea that E3 is this year is when we're going to see Animal Crossing. And if not, I'm going to cry.
No, no. I'm on the stance that every big chance there is, that the odds are just bigger. The announcement is late. That's what I consider it. It's just late, and it's later and later and later.
Yeah, but we're only getting closer.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope we're getting closer.
Yeah.
Not further, please.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that is it for our show. Thank you all for listening. If you want to be part of the conversation on all things Animal Crossing, join the Discord. I have a link in the description of this podcast. It's totally free to join, and you don't have to be a patron. And if you do, you can get Sergio and my friend codes just by joining the Discord. Also, I do want to mention we're holding a little contest on the Discord. So if you join the Discord, be sure to ask about the contest details, but essentially the contest is to guess the subtitle to Animal Crossing. If you watched my video yesterday, you know there was somebody's made up fake leak that they put out, and they called it Animal Crossing Globetrotter. That's an option that hasn't been taken, so if you want to guess it, be sure to join the Discord and fill in your guesses. Yeah, and if you do want to become a patron, visit patreon.com/ChewiePlaysNintendo. For just $1, you can support our show and get tons of cool things like my friend codes on 3DS, Wii U, and Switch. And you can have your thoughts shared on the podcast, and you can even get some art from Sergio. We try our best to really make it worth it because we really appreciate your support. And if you're listening on YouTube, be sure to comment whether or not you think Animal Crossing is getting announced at E3. Other than that, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more Animal Crossing content. Also, please leave a review for the show wherever you are listening. It helps the show gain some visibility and allows our community to grow. And once again, thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Have a great week, everyone.